Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to share with you 10 ways to reuse your coffee grinds. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. A while back I made a post for my small business on different ways that you can reuse your coffee grinds. Since it is a reusable products business, I love making posts on different ways to reuse, recycle, all the things. And as I was making that post and reading all these different ways that you can reuse your coffee grinds, I thought that it would be a really fun idea for a video to take all these things and put them to the test to see if they actually work. So I've been doing that. I put most of them to the test, some of them I couldn't, and I'm going to share them with you so you can also have different ways to reuse your coffee grinds. Also, I don't know if it's coffee grinds or coffee grounds, like it's ground coffee, but are they the grinds? I will be using both interchangeably because I have absolutely no idea which one is right. So the first way to reuse your coffee grounds is as a natural deodorizer. When I would make coffee in my French press, it's so hard to clean, so I would just like fill it up with water and dump it straight down the sink. I did that in front of my boyfriend one time and he was like, "What are you doing?" Put it in the trash because then the trash will smell good. And I just thought like, oh, okay, because then it'll smell like coffee. Actually, there's compounds in coffee that can Febreze odors away. They'll literally grab and eliminate odors. So you can put some coffee in your trash as you normally would to get rid of any trash odor, or once you take the garbage out and put a new bag in, put some coffee at the bottom and the whole bag will smell great. You can also put it in your refrigerator the same way that you would baking soda if you want to get rid of some stank there. Or if you have smelly shoes, you can sprinkle some of the coffee in your shoes, let it hang out overnight. It'll absorb and eliminate your foot stank in your shoes, and all you have to do is dump it out. Make sure that the grinds are on the dry side. Don't put them in your shoes right after you make your coffee because then it'll be much harder to clean out. So definitely make sure that your coffee grinds dry out. Also, for putting it in the refrigerator, you want to make sure that they dry out or else they might get a little mildewy. But no matter where you put them, coffee grinds will get rid of stank. The second way to reuse coffee grinds is to freshen up your hands after cooking. If you're cooking with onions and garlic, which I love onions and garlic, I chop them up and cook them all the time. But your hands might smell like them after, and as delicious as they are, you don't want to smell like onions and garlic long after your meal. Even if you keep washing your hands, that smell will always kind of linger for a little too long. So a way to get rid of that smell from your hands is to rinse your hands with some coffee grinds, just scrub them in there, get your fingers, get it all off, rinse it away, and again, it will just absorb and eliminate that onion and garlic smell. The third way to reuse your coffee grinds is to scrub your drain. And I know that my boyfriend was like, "Don't put it in your drain, it'll clog it." Wrong. If you actually boil some water with coffee grinds in it and then pour that down the drain, the grittiness plus the warm water will just completely clear off your drain. So if your drain's like a little clogged, it's a little smelly, boil your coffee grinds in water and then dump it on down and voila, a clean drain. That's not how I was doing it, but I could say that that's what I was doing, right? The fourth way to reuse your coffee grounds isn't something that I could try out for myself because I don't have a garden or a compost bin, but it's to add to your compost or to use as a fertilizer. First of all, again, with the odor eliminating properties, adding it to your compost bin will help get rid of that stinky compost smell, or at least reduce it a little bit, and it'll help balance out the compost pH level, which will help the food and whatever else is in there disintegrate quicker so you can get to using it quicker. And as a fertilizer, plants suck all the nutrients from the soil that they're in. So when the soil is depleted from nutrients, especially if it's some indoor plants, the soil needs to be replaced or you need to add some plant food because the plants are just sucking it all up from there. But coffee actually has a bunch of really good compounds in it that if you sprinkle it on your plants will help replenish the soil with all these healthy nutrients that your plants need, so your plants can keep grabbing those nutrients as they grow and grow nice and strong and healthy. Coffee, the same way it can remove odors, can also remove heavy metals and just pull that out of the soil. So if you do have any of that and your soil's not the best, especially for outside gardens when just like pollution and everything's landing on that, coffee can help absorb that while putting the nutrients back in. You know I love my plants. So tip number 5, I did try, but it's hard to tell. I only tried it once, so it's hard to tell if the bugs didn't come around because there were just no bugs to come around, or if the bugs didn't come around because of the coffee. So this one does require further testing, but bugs hate coffee. So especially mosquitoes, fruit flies, beetles, all the really gross ones, they're all gross, but those ones are like really gross. Don't like coffee. If you put that out, you can either, if you have like an issue with them hanging around your house, put a little bowl of it outside, especially by like doors and entryways, and they won't want to come in. Just make sure you're replacing it like every few days. Or if you're sitting outside trying to enjoy a nice lunch in the sun in your backyard and mosquitoes are bothering you, put a little bowl of coffee in your area and the mosquitoes shall stay away. Again, requires further testing. I don't know if the mosquitoes stayed away from me because there were no mosquitoes or because of the coffee. Or if you're like laying out, you're at a park, you can just sprinkle the coffee around you. And again, bugs just don't like the smell, and insects, it's like toxic to them. So I think if they like do come around, then they'll die, which is fine by me. And slugs and snails also can't crawl over coffee. It's like salt, I think. So if you do have a slug and snail issue and they're like getting into your garden, they're messing with your veggies, you can actually just like put a little border around your plants and the slugs and snails can't make their way in, which I also think is super cool. And one that I could not test because I do not have a pet, and if I did have a pet, I would really hope that they didn't have fleas, is that coffee can also get rid of fleas. Fleas also don't like coffee, so instead of going the flea killing shampoo conditioner route with your pet, take the first step by going completely clean and just washing your pet with some coffee, rinsing it through their fur, giving them a nice little rub. Make sure they don't eat it though, because it could be toxic to pets if consumed. It's like chocolate, like they just keep it away from them. And then after you do that, just rinse them, give them their normal shampoo instead of like the flea killing toxic one. And then of course, if it doesn't work, then go the medicated shampoo route. The sixth way to reuse your coffee is to fix any scratches that you may have on wood. So we all know coffee stains. We've all dropped coffee on our clothes once or twice or every single time you drink coffee. And if you don't clean it right away, you're gonna have that little coffee spot forever. But you can use that for good. Use coffee stain powers for good. And if you get a scratch on wood, especially darker wood, you just mix some coffee with water, rub it on there, let it soak into that scratch, and then wipe it away. And that stain will just kind of soak into the scratch and make it look less noticeable. So it's not gonna completely fix the scratch, but your mom won't notice it right away, okay? Okay? And that's what matters, is mom not noticing. You can also use the grounds from the coffee that you drank to put it on the food that you will eat. So coffee makes a really, really good rub and seasoning. My boyfriend actually has this seasoning mix, and it's mostly coffee with a few other things mixed in there, and he's used it on meat a few times, and it is so, so good. And I never really thought like, oh, let me rub coffee on my meat. It's not really my first thought. I'm also not great at making meat, so like, what do I know? I just put 21 seasoning salute on everything. But after having that, I thought, why are you paying extra for this when you also drink coffee 4 times a day? Use those grinds, mix it in with a few other spices and seasonings, whatever you're feeling, and you can make your own rub, and it is honestly so good. Like, don't sleep on coffee. Flavor your food. You can also mix it with some chocolatey desserts to give it that nice little kick. You know, you love a little espresso-y chocolate kick. When you're baking something, which we're all baking things, we're still inside, throw a little coffee in there. Number 8, I actually tried out this morning to see if it would work, and it's to use coffee as an under eye brightener. So coffee has caffeine, and caffeine is already something that's found in a lot of under eye creams and serums. It's personally something that I use in my ordinary serum. And what caffeine does to the under eye area is it constricts the blood vessels underneath your skin. So this area is super thin skin in comparison to the rest of your body. So you can really see the blood vessels underneath, and if they're big, that's what will give you that dark circle appearance. So if you put caffeine underneath your eyes, which you can do in the way of coffee grounds by making it into a paste, put that under there, and the caffeine will soak into the skin and constrict the blood vessels to lessen their appearance of the dark circles under your eye, while also depuffing your eye area by lowering the inflammation. So I tried it out this morning. I'm gonna do a little side by side of me before and me after to see if there are any comparisons. when I did it, I forgot to look at what my face looked like before. So then when I looked after, I was like, I don't know what I'm comparing it to. So we'll see right here. Let me know if it worked. I'll probably throw a graphic on because I also can't see the photos. I'm just sitting here. The 9th way that you can reuse your coffee is as a hair cleanser and boost. So I actually tried that last night, and what it does is it gets into your scalp, and the grittiness of it can clean up any just buildup and product buildup, and you just want to get rid of it. It helps do that, helps clear out your scalp. And by doing so, and by doing the exfoliation and clearing up the follicles, it actually helps your hair grow longer and stronger too, and it just stimulates hair growth. And it should leave a nice little sheen. So also if you wash your pet that has fleas, your pet might be a little shiny too. So I tried it last night when I went to wash my hair, and all you do is take the dry coffee, don't need to add anything to it, just straight coffee. I didn't do a ton, but it was quite hard to wash out, so just keep that in mind. But I think it worked pretty well. My scalp feels clear, which sometimes like right here I'll get like a little like dry patch, so I don't know if like rubbing the coffee grinds on that just kind of like broke up the dead skin there, which is like gross, but it's my hair. It's what happens. That's what I deal with, and it is gross. I hate it. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling clean. I also just like hadn't washed my hair in a few days, so you know, I feel great. So this would really, really work, and I feel like you'll notice more benefits than I did if you are somebody that uses a lot of product in their hair. If you like put on like hairspray and just like that build up, or if you do use dry shampoo regularly. I haven't used dry shampoo in a while just because I hate how like heavy it makes my hair feel, and then washing it out is so much harder because then you're not only washing your hair but like all the gunk out of your hair. So definitely if you're using dry shampoo regularly and you just need help like getting that out, the grittiness of the coffee I think would really, really help. I haven't used any product in my hair in a pretty long time, so I didn't notice if it did do anything like that because I just didn't have that in my hair at all. But it does look quite shiny and healthy, besides the fact that I slept on it when it was wet, so it dried a little funky, but you know, what you gonna do? I was feeling lazy. And the 10th way to reuse your coffee is as a body scrub. So I also did this last night while I was doing my hair. I figured I'm gonna make a mess in the shower, I might as well do it all at once. And this, instead of just going straight in with the coffee like you do for your hair, you can make a little concoction. So you do 2 parts coffee. So say you have like a cup of coffee and 1 part organic sugar, so half a cup of sugar. I made a very small batch, so these are just like estimates of mixtures. And then 1 part coconut oil, so you can get nice and moisturized. So it'd be like half a cup coconut oil. Some Epsom salts because they are a bit grittier, so if you really want to get a good scrub, that's optional. If you have super sensitive skin or you just like don't want to do that, you don't need to. The coffee is already good, especially if you have like a heavier grit coffee. Sometimes coffee is ground a little bit differently depending on what you're using it for. So if you have like French press coffee grinds, they will be thicker versus like a pour over coffee grinds, they will be thinner. So depending on your coffee, you can add in Epsom salts. I did. And then again, if you do want to, optional, add in some essential oils, some like skin safe essential oils like a lavender, so you can be relaxed while you're scrubbing down. I did not do that, but it smelled so good from adding the coconut oil that I was like, I like the smell of coconut and coffee, so why mess it up with more smells? So I made that last night, also did that, and I liked the result after. So you can't really tell now, but when I got out of the shower, I just felt like so smooth. And again, I do have keratosis piloris on my arm, so it is like bumpy on the reg, but it just felt like for having bumpy arms, they felt very smooth. And then I also did it on my thighs and those felt really smooth. And then from doing that scrub, similarly to if you dry brush, it should help get rid of cellulite too. If you do that or any kind of scrub, then it should like boost the circulation in your legs and get rid of or reduce the appearance of cellulite. But cellulite is just, everybody has it. It's not that it's like fat that you can just like get rid of, like skinny people have it, everybody has it. Don't feel ashamed of your cellulite just because everybody else is photoshopping their cellulite out or doing their angles. Everybody has it, so just gonna throw that one out there. But I did really, really like using that, and just, it was good. And also if you're making this coffee body scrub and you make a lot, it will last in the refrigerator for up to a month. But I just made a little batch and just did it in one go. Well, there you have it. That is 10 ways to reuse your coffee grinds. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you like to reuse your coffee grinds and what you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.